Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. Today I have an ammo review for you. I don't do a whole lot of these, and so it's something a little bit different for the channel, and that is for Rocky Ford Ammunition Company. Rocky Ford is a newer ammo company. They started in 2020. They sent me some of their subsonic 9mm hollow points and some of their supersonic or standard velocity 124 grain hollow points for 9mm, both. So we are going to get into these. We're going to do some ballistic gel testing. We're going to do some chronograph, 1142, and we're going to do some accuracy testing as well as my experience with it as far as reliability of feeding and things like that. So without further ado, this is probably going to be a long enough video as it is. Let's get into it. So first things first, to the YouTube censors, this is not promotion of regulated goods. This is just me reviewing and telling my experience and showing the performance of Rocky Ford 9mm ammo. That's all it is. I don't even know how much it costs. So just leave me alone. That's all I ask, is that for once in your miserable lives, leave me alone. So we have a number of guns we're going to be running this through. I've run this ammo through all of these guns in my testing since I've had the ammo, and we are going to be using the core pistol 9mm. We're going to be using the Canic Prime. We're going to be using, to throw one of this style pistols in, the EAA Brat. I'm going to be using the Ross Martin for a little bit smaller package here to show how it kind of reacts with that. The Ross Martin RM1S. A custom Glock 19 for non-standard firearms to see how it runs through that. And especially for the subsonic stuff, we're going to be using it suppressed in the XTAR EP9 with the resilient suppressor Ramblin' Man on it. And to top that off, I have 2 blocks of the FBI blocks from Clear Ballistic Gel. This is their 10% testing gel. I have two blocks of those, and I will leave a link to Clear Ballistic Gels down in the pinned comment. It doesn't get you any discounts. I get no kickback from it. It just lets you know that if you decide to get any Clear Ballistic Gel for your own shooting, for your own fun, for your own testing, that I sent you there. And hopefully it helps build a future with this channel and Clear Ballistic Gel. So let's first start with the round itself. Both of these that I have out here today, they do offer 147 grain as well that I don't have. But I do believe, if I remember correctly, yeah, these are both 124 grain 9mm hollow points. Now, unlike some of the gimmicky rounds out there, gimmicky hollow point rounds that have like petals that fly off of it and stuff like that, this is a fairly standard hollow point. They're not going for flash, they're going for performance, they're going for accuracy, they're going for quality, right? This is an American company. They're in Mississippi, Oxford, Mississippi, if I do remember correctly. And so it's a veteran-owned company, and he is trying to put out ammo that is going to be reliable, it's going to perform well. I want to say, first and foremost, to try to throw your hat into the ring for ammo manufacturing is pure insanity. There is so many companies out there that people are married to that to try to get your foot in it's like trying to get into the soda or the pop industry, into the drink industry. It's just, there's so many big players in the ammo industry that it's really, really hard to get into. So first of all, hats off to Rocky Ford Ammo for even trying this. So this is the 124 grain hollow points. The box says muzzle velocity of 1150 feet per second. And we're going to test that. Just a brass case, copper jacketed, fairly standard hollow point. The subsonic that I have is also 124 grain. It is listed at 10,050 feet per second, 1050. And again, it is a brass cased, copper jacketed hollow point. So let's first go with the littlest gun I have out here, and that is the Ross Martin RM1S. This is their subcompact or their slimline model, so think of approximately like a G26 size pistol. This is the 124 grain full power, the 1150 feet per second. This is just to show you that it's running through these guns. Same ammo, the 1150 feet per second in the core pistol. This is a newer Turkish-made pistol on the market. The Canik Prime, same ammo. This is all their standard. Ammo. The custom G19. This has the grip slide on it. G19 frame with a whose trigger is that? I can't even remember whose trigger that is right off the top of my head. And the X-Tech magazine. Oh, that is the gun, not the ammo. I've been playing around with that gun. It's not been super reliable since I've been messing with it. And the EAA brat for the 2011 guys. God, I love that gun. I love this gun. All right, so it runs reliably, feeds reliably in everything that I've had out here. Now we're going to get into the PCC. How is it running in a suppressed PCC? For this, I have the first 5 rounds are the full power 1150 feet per second hollow points. The next 5 rounds are the subsonic. So that is the standard velocity stuff. That's so quiet. That is so quiet. Yeah, runs fine. So here I'm about 15 yards from the cardboard target. I have the 124 grain, 1150 feet per second Rocky Ford hollow points loaded in the core pistol. All right, this is the Canik Prime. I have 9 rounds loaded up in this. Ross Martin RM1S. All right, let's go check out the target. I would say that's not too bad for 30 rounds. 30 rounds of hollow point is shot well. There was that one, what seemed to be a light primer strike. I'm not sure if it was the gun or the primer. We'll see if it keeps happening throughout the day. It's the first time I've had it happen at all over a few hundred rounds of shooting it at this point. But as far as accuracy goes, I'm keeping pretty good accuracy with it. All right, so I've taken my ears out for this one because I'm running the 1050 feet per second, the subsonic 124 grain hollow point in the X-Star EP9 with the Resilient Suppressors Ramblin' Man. I gotta tell you guys, it's just a poof. It works really well for subsonic in a PCC suppressed. Yeah, super comfortable to shoot as far as having no ears on, suppressed out of a 6.5 inch PCC. All right, so I have the chrono set up here. Big shout out to my buddy Chris at the 740. If you guys don't know Chris, go check out his channel. I'll leave a link below. He knew I was using a piece of shit Caldwell chrono and sent me his old one because he got a new GPS type chrono. So he sent me his old one, and we're going to be using it for the first time today. So We're going to do 5 rounds of the 1150 feet per second, the full power hollow points in the core pistol. And again, the box says 1150 feet per second. That's 1180, 1142, 1133, 1130, 1145. So it's right there in that range. It's right there in that range of what the box says it is, which, to be quite honest, in my experience chronographing various ammos, most of them aren't that close. So good on them. All right, gonna clear all of that. Clear all of that and move on to the subsonic, the 1050 feet per second stuff. Same gun. $1,055, $1,056, $1,059, $1,056, $1,052. Wow, that's right on. All right, same test. This is the full power 1150 feet per second stuff out of the X-Star. Let's see if a little extra barrel. Let's see if a little extra barrel, how much of a difference that makes. 1204, 1200, 1191, 1217, 1206, 1206. So still pretty consistent. Little extra barrel length. I figured they were going to go a little faster than what's on the box. Let's do the same thing with the subsonics. All right, the subsonic 1050 feet per second stuff. It is so quiet. I feel weird having ears in. 1096, 1091, 1096, 1089, and 1083. So again, still really consistent. Of course, a little higher than what the box says, but still under the subsonic speeds for 9mm. So as far as like a self-defense round in the house, like something like in a suppressed PCC for home defense, something like that, yeah, it's nice. But none of this matters. Not a single thing I've done matters if the hollow point doesn't work. Like if it just blows right through your target, sure, some reliability matters. But if this stuff doesn't work as a hollow point, why not just use Full Metal Jacket, right? So let's get into it. All right, first things first. Got my single block of ballistics gel out here from Clear Ballistics. Again, do me a favor, go show Clear Ballistics some love. There will be a link in the pinned comment to go check them out. Pick up some ballistic gel for your own testing, for your own fun, stuff like that. Blocks like this aren't incredibly expensive. I don't get a kickback. They haven't paid me to say anything. It's just to let them know that I sent you there. So we are going to put, hopefully I don't need 2 gel blocks. I'd like to save 1 block for the supersonic, 1 block for the subsonic. But so we're going to put the 124 grain, 1150 feet per second, Rocky Ford hollow point into this with the core 9mm pistol. All right, here we go. I have a camera set up there for slow motion. Let's check that out. All right, so it did go clear through. You can see there. And it ended up, it looks like it might have ended up going through the table here. So it looks like it went right through the table right there. So let's set up the other block and do that again. But as you can see here, here's your temporary wound cavity, initial entry, all the way through. All right, here we go again, the 1150 feet per second. Let's go a little higher. Let's check that out. So here's one entry, the other entry, that top one right here is the second shot. And it went all the way through and out the back right there. You can see the line all the way through it. All right, we're going to go one more. Let's see if we captured that bullet. All right, there's the third one. So we have, so you can kind of see the angle here. 1, 2, 3. And so that middle one is the first shot, second shot, third shot. And the third shot went all the way through again. Now, one thing I am noticing is the absolute consistency of the wound. It's not stopping, unfortunately. And who knows where they're at out in the desert, but very consistent wound cavities, and look to the damage inside of the ballistic gel. All right, so I now have 2 rounds of the 1,050 feet per second subsonics. I'm just going to go 1, 2. So we don't appear to be catching anything. They're going straight through. They're going straight through. Some decent wound cavities, but they're going straight through. So I don't really know what to say about that. I really do wish we could have captured a couple and seen how they expanded. But they are going right through this block, both blocks. All right, the extra barrel length is probably just going to make it worse, but let's give it a try out of the XTAR with the subsonic ammo. I have, 3 rounds loaded up. If I can get a good aim. All right, so as expected, the extra barrel length, if anything, made it worse as far as being able to capture one in the gel. But you can see row after row after row, almost identical, with the exception of one, almost identical wound cavities, very straight trajectory all the way through, but then flying out the back end, and I don't know where they're at after that. Now, I do realize that you may have made up your mind by now about Rocky Ford. I kind of have too. But I want to, before I talk too much shit on it, I want to compare it to what I carry, which is Hornady 135 grain plus P 9mm out of the same gun. Let's see what that does. Now, I haven't walked past the gel yet, but I can already tell from the entry wound just at the end of the block, which I did turn the blocks around so I had a cleaner surface, that it already performed worlds better. So, massive, not like incredibly massive, but big temporary wound cavity. Nice straight trajectory, and we caught it inside of the first block. So it stopped right there, like I'm actually poking it. So let's cut that out and see what it looks like. It appears to have gone through 15 and a half inches of block, this being a 16-inch block. So let's dig that out of there. Polymer. So there's the polymer from the tip, and a beautiful even expansion. I don't know if that's coming in through well or not. I'll take a good picture of it if it's not. But yeah, that's what I would expect from a high quality hollow point out of a pistol. Well, it is unfortunate that the ballistic gels from Clear Ballistic did not catch any expanded hollow points. I don't know what they did after, inside of here. It doesn't look like there's any real tumbling to speak of. There's no particulate or chunks of the hollow point left behind inside the gel. So I have to assume that if they expanded at all, it wasn't much. Which is an unfortunate fail on that part. I do have to say, though, that while inside of what was that 7 or 10 rounds, I would have expected better performance. But also, to caveat that with, hollow points are incredibly inconsistent at expanding in the real world. This is controlled, so I would expect this to have probably peak performance as far as the hollow points go. That's not making excuses for Rocky Ford. It's not because they sent me the ammo, but it's something that you, the viewer, need to understand. That the hollow points that are in your gun right now have very, very inconsistent performance, no matter what brand, no matter what kind, in real world scenarios when it comes to cloth and barriers and various thicknesses and density of human beings. But with this controlled, with these two controlled blocks, I would have expected better. That is the end of the road for Rocky Ford ammo. Good points, bad points. Good points is that it seems to run reliably. We didn't have another one of those light primer issues. And it was the first one. Well, there was that custom Glock that had one. It's not the first one I've had in that gun. That have been playing with it, putting parts in and out of it. So I'm not going to count that one. But I think it was the RM1S that we had a light primer strike. I believe that was the Ross Martin. That's been a 100% reliable gun. So I don't know if it's a gun. I don't know if it's the ammo. You make the decision there. But it ran really reliably. It was nice and accurate. I kept good groups with it. It shot well. The subsonic is shot well and was very quiet in a suppressed PCC. However, as a hollow point, it's not worth a damn as a hollow point. If it would be my suggestion to any company that has this sort of results with their hollow points, just do really inexpensive ball range ammo, because that's pretty much what you produced anyway. That's unfortunate, because there really isn't ever enough defensive ammo on the market. So because the hollow point didn't hollow point, I have to give it an F. It's unfortunate. I sure do like to see small companies getting into the game. I just think that there is a lot of re-engineering that needs done, probably with the hollow point itself. The powder loads seem good. The powder loads seem consistent on the chronograph, but the hollow point isn't expanding, and that sucks. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe. If you want to see more ballistic gel videos from me, again, use that link in the comment section for ballistic gel, or for clear ballistic, and it'll just let them know that I sent you there. You don't get anything off. You don't get any discounts. I don't get any kickback. It's just something that I'm hoping can be used in order to, in the future, create a good relationship with myself and clear ballistics. I want to thank Rocky Ford for sending out this ammo. I do have a couple boxes left. I'm going to shoot through it. I'm sure it'll be fine as far as shooting. For target range ammo, I'm never going to carry it. So that's that. I wish Rocky Ford the absolute 100% best of luck. I really, really do. And I hope that they can get all of this squared away. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.